Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I never imagined my marriage would end the way it did. If you had asked me a year ago, I would have said my wife and I were solid. Not perfect but stable. My name is Daniel. I'm 38 years old, and until recently I believed loyalty was something you either had or you didn't. I believed my wife Melissa had it. I was wrong. We'd been married for 9 years. No kids yet, but we talked about it often. I worked long hours as a project manager, and she ran a small online business from home. From the outside we looked like a team. Friends called us balanced. I was the steady one, the planner, the guy who kept things grounded. Melissa was spontaneous, social, always needing excitement. I thought we complemented each other. What I didn't realize was how often she mistook my trust for blindness. The first cracks were small enough to ignore. Late nights on her phone. Sudden trips to clear her head. New passwords, new friends I never met. When I asked questions, she laughed it off, calling me paranoid. I told myself I was being insecure. A good husband trusts his wife, right? That's what I kept repeating. The truth didn't come from her. It never does. It came from a man I barely knew. One evening, I got a message request on social media. No profile picture, no mutual friends. Just a short line. I think you deserve to know the truth about your wife. My first instinct was to ignore it. Trolls exist. Jealous people exist. But something about the wording stuck with me. Come. Direct. No drama. I replied with a single question. What truth? What followed felt unreal. Screenshots. Dates. Messages. Photos I couldn't unsee. Conversations that were unmistakably intimate. My wife, confessing feelings, planning weekends, complaining about me. Not one mistake. Not one slip. A pattern. Months of it. I didn't explode. I didn't punch a wall. I didn't call her screaming. I sat there in silence, scrolling, reading, feeling something inside me quietly shut down. That was the moment I understood something important. Anger is loud. Acceptance is quiet. When Melissa came home that night, she was in a good mood. She kissed my cheek, asked what I wanted for dinner. I watched her like a stranger. I asked her to sit down. My voice was steady, almost detached. I showed her my phone and asked her one simple question. How long? Her face changed instantly. First confusion, then fear, then that familiar defense she always used. Denial. It's not what it looks like. Then minimization. It didn't mean anything. Then blame. You've been distant for years. It was like watching a script she'd rehearsed. I listened. I didn't interrupt. For the first time in our marriage, I didn't rush to reassure her. When she finished, I asked another question. Did you ever plan to tell me? She hesitated. That was all the answer I needed. I told her I was leaving. Not for the night. Not to cool off. Leaving. Permanently. She laughed at first like I was being dramatic. She told me every couple goes through things like this. That cheating didn't have to mean the end if we worked on it. That we could go to therapy. That I was throwing away years over a mistake. That word stuck with me. Mistake. I packed a bag while she followed me from room to room, shifting between anger and tears. She accused me of giving up too easily. Of not fighting for us. Of being heartless. I didn't respond. Because the truth was simple. I wasn't giving up. I was opting out of being disrespected. I moved into a small apartment near my office. The silence was strange at first. No arguments. No explanations. No apologies on repeat. Just peace. Melissa, on the other hand, spiraled. Messages flooded my phone. Some angry, some desperate, some nostalgic. She begged me to meet her, to talk, to get closure. I didn't respond. A week later, I learned something else. The man she'd been seeing wasn't exclusive. She was one of several. When he realized things were getting messy, he cut her off. Suddenly, the excitement she'd chosen over her marriage vanished. That's when the regret started. She showed up at my apartment unannounced one evening. Red eyes. No makeup. She told me she'd made the biggest mistake of her life. That she finally understood my value. That she felt empty without me. She promised transparency, change, honesty. She said she'd do anything. I believed her pain. I didn't believe her promises. I told her something she didn't expect. I don't hate you. I just don't trust you. And without trust, there is no marriage. She cried harder after that. Because there was nothing left to argue with. Walking away wasn't easy. It was lonely. It forced me to confront my own blind spots, my tendency to excuse things I shouldn't have. But it also gave me clarity. Respect isn't loud. Loyalty isn't complicated. And love doesn't require you to betray yourself to keep it alive. Melissa tried reaching out months later. By then, I had moved on emotionally. Not to someone else. To myself. I was healthier, calmer, more focused than I'd been in years. Leaving didn't break me. Staying would have. I didn't abandon my wife out of anger. I abandoned a situation that demanded I accept less than I deserved. And once I learned the truth, there was only one choice that allowed me to keep my self-respect intact.